Okay, so Brooke,
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome. My name is Brooke Lambert, and I am the Chief Administrative Officer here at the Corporation of the Township of Wellington North. And I am very pleased to open the inaugural meeting of the 2022 to 2026 term of council. A warm welcome to everyone who is joining us this evening in the council chambers and to all those who are watching from home as our new council is sworn in. First off, to our members of council, I would like to congratulate each of you on the results of the October 24th municipal election. The community of Wellington North has placed a great deal of responsibility in your hands, and my colleagues and I look forward to supporting you as you take on the opportunities and challenges that will present themselves over the next 4 years. With that, I call the November 21st, 2022 inaugural meeting to order. I am pleased to introduce the township's new council and will now conduct the roll call for this evening's meeting. When I call your name, please indicate your presence. Councillor Penny Rankin, Ward 1.
present.
Councillor Sherry Burke, Ward 2.
Present.
Councillor Lisa Hearn, Ward 3.
Present.
Councillor Steve McCabe, Ward 4.
I'm here.
And Mayor Andy Lennox.
Here, thanks.
Thank you. We will so note your attendance in the minutes. I will now introduce our vocalist, Debbie Farley, for the singing of O Canada. Will everyone please rise for our national anthem?
Here you go. If you don't speak into the mic, it doesn't record. Okay. It won't amplify your voice, it'll just record it. Okay. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you so much, Debbie. Please be seated, everyone.
If you would just wait a minute, we have a presentation for you. Thank you. That was lovely.
And now I would like to welcome our clerk, Karen Wallace, and our deputy clerk, Catherine Conrad, to administer the declaration of office by the mayor and the presentation of the chain of office.
So Mayor Lennox, if you would come up and state your declaration from here.
I, Andrew Lennox, having been elected to the office of mayor in the municipality of the Township of Wellington North, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or any other improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III. And I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true, and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
I'm just gonna sign here. We're gonna keep these and scan them, and then we'll give them to you at the next meeting. Okay, and so if you want to step forward, and Kathy will present you with the chain of office and the all-important gavel. And we'll have remarks from the mayor and each of the councilors after all of the declarations are made. Mayor Lennox, if you want to proceed and invite the elected officials to speak in probably order of their ward. Just introduce them. Is your mic on?
Sorry, yep, it is now. Okay, so we're doing the declaration of office for the members of council. We'll just do it in order of ward. Councillor Rankin, Ward 1, if you could do your declaration, please.
I, Penelope Rankin, having been elected to the office of councillor in the municipality of the Township of Wellington North, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III. And I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Councillor Rankin, and welcome. We'll now move to Ward 2, Councillor Burke.
Thank you, Mayor Lennox. I, Sherry Burke, have been elected to the office of councillor in the municipality of the Township of Wellington North. I do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, impartially exercise this office to the best of my ability, knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, and I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
Congratulations, Councillor Burke, and welcome back. We'll now move to Ward 3, Councillor Hearn.
I, Lisa Hearn, having been elected to the office of councillor in the municipality of the Township of Wellington North, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or any other improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III. And I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
Congratulations, Councillor Hearn, and welcome back to you as well. We'll now move to Ward 4, Councillor McCabe.
Thank you, Mayor. I, Stephen McCabe, having been elected to the office of councillor, excuse me, in the municipality of the Township of Wellington North, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in other improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, and I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
Congratulations, Councillor McCabe, and welcome back to you as well.
Congratulations and thank you all. So now I would like to welcome to the podium Mayor Lennox to deliver his inaugural address.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the inaugural meeting of council for 2022. I have to admit, that working better?
Green lights on.
Okay. So I'm honored to stand before you again today to renew our conversation about our collective future and to mark a milestone in the progress of our township. I'd like to welcome back to the table my colleagues from the last term, Councillor Sherry Burke, Lisa Hearn, and Steve McCabe. Joining us this time with her energy and enthusiasm is Penny Rankin. Welcome, Penny. To you, fellow members of council, I say congratulations and thank you for offering your time and caring nature to serve our township and its communities. The voters of Wellington North have assembled a strong team, and I look forward to working with you in the coming years. I'd also like to recognize the families of our councillors, of a number of which I see here today. Their sacrifice should not go unnoticed. I know at our house, I am blessed to have Susan, who tolerates my ever-changing schedule and who listens patiently as I sometimes have to talk through issues. To municipal staff here and throughout the township, thank you for your professional and dedicated work. I look forward to continuing to work with you in the coming years as you continue to serve our strong and proud community. Over the previous terms, we have worked toward delivering high-quality public services with an eye to continuous improvement. We have stretched ourselves to move closer to maintaining our existing infrastructure, all the while striving to do it with stable, predictable taxation. supported on a strong financial foundation. We've also spent time, effort, and resources preparing for future growth in our community. As I look back on the past years, I'm amazed at what we've been able to accomplish together. During the election campaign, I had a couple of people ask me a question that really made me pause and think about the answer. They asked me, why is all the discussion about growth and urban issues? There is virtually no discussion about issues outside of Mount Forest and Arthur. When I thought about it, I told them it was because, while municipal operations were operating pretty smoothly across the township, the conversation was being driven by the amount of change that growth and environmental circumstances were bringing to our main urban areas. We are seeing changes in economic times with inflation at generational highs. We are seeing employers struggling to find workers like never before. We are seeing changes quite recently in provincial policy that can drastically affect municipalities like ours. And the pressure on community growth has become immense. Many of you have heard me relate community growth to the circumstances of a growing family. You've also heard me relate the increased pace of growth we are now facing as being similar to the same growing family suddenly finding out they're having triplets. I use this comparison because there are so many parallels. The plans for one more bedroom become the plans for three. The plans to use the car we have turns into the necessity to have a minivan that wasn't anticipated. The existing plans of how we pay the additional costs suddenly become obsolete, and we have to be completely rethought, and options we hadn't previously planned now must be considered. And most importantly, like the rapidly growing family, circumstances will force us to adapt more quickly, be more flexible, and be willing to try new ideas if we're successfully to build our community for the future. It promises to be an exciting time. Together, we must accept the challenge, embrace the opportunity, invest our time and resources, building a better and stronger Wellington North. The difficult we will do immediately. The impossible may take us a little bit longer. Thanks. I've had a chance to say a few words, and open it up to councillors to, if they wish to say a few words to start off our term. Councillor Rankin, do you have anything you'd like to share with us?
It's not really prepared, but my name is Penny Rankin and I'm councillor for Ward 1. I live in Ward 1 and have done so for 11 years. And prior to that, we farmed in Ward 2. And I belong to the Cultural Roundtable, and I'm looking forward to continuing working on the goals of the municipal cultural plan that we have already started. And as I was campaigning, one of the things I was really advocating for was hopefully more affordable recreation, and especially for those with special needs. And if at all possible, I would love to be able to continue with that. And I know the next 4 years, we are going to have some really difficult issues with housing, infrastructure, and economy. But I'm hoping to be able to absorb a lot of the expertise and knowledge of the mayor, councillors, and the municipal staff for help. And I'm looking forward to the challenge. Thank you.
Thanks, Penny. Councillor Burke?
Thank you, Mayor Lennox. Thank you to everyone that came tonight to join us. it's nice to see some familiar faces. I'd just like to congratulate the members of council that were acclaimed and also recently won. I haven't had the opportunity to do that with everyone. So I've always said it's a privilege to represent the residents of Ward 2 in Wellington North. And that's what I've done for the past 12 years and this next term. The election for me was a little bit messy this time around, but I really appreciate their support. I want to thank the residents for trusting in my commitment, dedication, and community awareness for another term. These are going to be challenging times, as Mayor Lennox alluded to in his speech. I look forward to working with council and staff and the residents of Wellington North together to face these challenges. This will include not only new initiatives, but those that continue to build and enrich our communities socially, culturally, and economically. In closing, I'd also like to say thank you to my amazing friends and family for their patience, encouragement, and continuous support. Because sometimes when you're a counselor, you have to miss certain things and you have to make a decision, and the decision for the residents that have put you into this seat. So I couldn't do this job without them. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Sherry. We'll move to Councillor Hearn.
They have such nice speeches. Especially Patty, you didn't prepare one. It's wonderful. What an honor. And I'm honestly surprised that this is the third term that I'm starting. I can't even believe that. I just have a lot of people to thank. The people of Wellington North for their support, and my family, to my husband, John, and my son, Wyatt. Without their support and patience, I could never do this. They cannot keep up with my schedule at all. They don't know where I am ever, even though I tell them, but they're patient about it, and I'm thankful for that. A lot has changed since my first term, and a lot of great things have happened. Some not so great, unfortunately. I don't think there's many, but a lot of great things have happened, and I'm looking forward to the next 4 years. And I'm up to the challenge to make more great things happen. Thank you.
Thanks, Lisa. We'll turn it over to Councillor McCabe.
Good evening and welcome. It's incredible how quickly 8 years can pass. And yet at the same time, when I was first sworn in approximately 2,900 days ago, seems like yesterday. And when I told my mom I was going to run for re-election, and I've told a few people this, she said, well, your hair can't get any grayer, but I guess it could fall out. It's incredibly humbling and an honor to stand or sit here before you tonight and start my third term, not only for Ward 4 councillor, but as a representative for the great township of Wellington North. Much has changed in the past 2 terms, but one thing that will not change is my commitment to you and the residents of Wellington North, no matter what town, hamlet, or ward you live in. I've tried to earn your trust and respect, and I will continue to do so in these next 4 years and beyond. We have an amazing team when you look at all of the employees within the township. Here too, there have been major challenges, but I look forward to continue work with our great staff. I am, and truthfully, everyone in the township should be proud of our whole team. The future has never looked better. We have a lot of heavy lifting to do, and we have to make a lot of hard decisions that won't suit everyone, but they need to be made. We need to work with the county, the province, and the federal governments to make sure that Wellington North is top of mind. We have numerous projects already known to us, which have huge dollar costs to complete. We need these partners to be at the table with us, and I will not stop advocating for Wellington North. This is my commitment to the residents of Wellington North, and I thank you very much for this privilege. I also want to take this time to welcome Penny to the council table. I look forward to getting to know you and to work with you. And I also want to thank Dan Yake for the time that he served our residents as well. So thank you, and here's to the next 4 years.
Thanks, Steve. So the only other item we have on our formal agenda this evening is some correspondence from our MP, Mr. John Nader, who I think you probably all had a chance to read that correspondence, congratulating all of us for the coming term. So I would like to have a motion to receive that as information. So if I could have a mover and a seconder, I'm going to ask Councillor Rankin, would you move the first motion for us? And seconded by Councillor Burke. Any discussion on that correspondence? All those in favor? That's carried. Thank you. So the only other item we have here, of course, is the confirming bylaw, and the recommendation is as follows: that bylaw number 121-22, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the Council of the Corporation of the Township of Wellington North at its inaugural meeting held on November 21st, 2022, be read a first, second, and third time and enacted. I get a mover and a seconder for that. Moved by Steve, seconded by Lisa. All those in favor? That's carried. Thank you. And we'll move to adjournment. After we get the adjournment completed, that ends the formal part of the meeting. But if council could just hang around for a minute or two, there's a couple of items I think we need to deal with informally. So recommendation here is that the inaugural council meeting of November 21st, 2022 be adjourned at 7:27. Moved by Sherry, seconded by Penny. All those in favor? That's carried. So we're officially adjourned. So just before we depart for some refreshments, I just wanted to mention that there's a couple of Christmas parades coming up. And in the past, we've participated in those. I just wanted to see whether council wanted to continue to participate. The first one's coming up this coming Saturday in Arthur, and then the following Friday in Mount Forest. Unfortunately, I personally won't be able to come to the one this Saturday, but if everybody's on board, we'll make the arrangements to get things set up for that. Okay. I think that's the only one that's really urgent right now. So let's, as I mentioned to Penny, this is supposed to be fun. So let's have some fun and fellowship. Thanks, everybody.